How's it going, guys? What I wanted to do in this video today is to talk to some of you guys who are new to the firearms community about some of the things that we have been seeing in the media. The first thing that you need to recognize is the fact that the media is biased, and I'm sure that by now most people know that. Polls everywhere have shown that people's trust in the media recently has just gone through the floor. The media in general try to push an agenda, as we all know, and they try to manipulate the way that people think on a lot of this stuff. I mean, think about advertising. I mean, that's a big part of what the media is. Advertising is about pushing people to buy something, to take certain actions, and the rest of the media knows that this rage bait stuff is what gets them clicks, it's what gets them views, and it's what makes their earnings go up. So that's one of the first things that we need to know about, is that the media is overwhelmingly biased, and I don't think that's questioned. I know recently what we're starting to see is the media has returned to pushing the gun control narrative that has been out there forever. I mean, it's something that comes about every few years. It's something that comes about whenever a tragedy happens. And it seems to be on a little bit more elevated level today because of the current makeup of our Congress and the guy that's in the White House, as we all know who that is. Now, prior to this past election, it was very obvious that nothing was going to get through in Congress. The media knew it. They knew that they're not going to be able to push anything like this, and that's why we did not hear as much about gun control as what we do now. But considering the makeup of Congress and everything now, there is another push coming from the media and from liberal politicians. Okay, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to build up enough public sentiment to try to force something through, instead of trying to go in, actually research what's going on. And that is the biggest failure of modern day media. Modern day journalism is dead, and I am saying that as someone who has worked as a professional journalist, who has even majored in journalism. Okay, so I'm telling you, this is not the first go around. I've worked in journalism years ago before this, and that's one of the reasons why I started making videos. And the reason is people are very manipulative. They will go along basically with what they're told. That's what most people will do. They don't go in and dig into the facts. They just look at the headline, especially in this Twitter world that we live in today. They don't go in and do any in-depth research. They'll see the headline, they'll get the click, and then that's it. So the way that we can combat some of this stuff is, first of all, to educate ourselves on those issues. We can educate ourselves on what's actually going on with a lot of these events. We can dig into some of the stuff that they're pushing and explain to others exactly how those things fail. I know recently Colorado, of course, has been in the news. The individual out there involved has gone through a background check. We know when he got his firearm, he went through a background check. A lot of the push today coming is the fact that they want a universal background check. Simple question that can be asked: if the background check didn't stop this guy, what makes you think that it's going to stop anyone else? And this is a rare exception. Okay, what happened in Colorado is a rare exception. The overwhelming majority of people, of criminals who obtain firearms, do so illegally. For the most part, most of them cannot legally own a firearm, but they still get them. A lot of people will claim that it is unique to the U.S. For things happening like this. Unfortunately, what they fail to realize, they fail to do their research, and they fail to realize that there are countries where firearms are completely outlawed. They still have shootings. Okay, they still have stabbings. London, for a brief period of time, had a higher murder rate than what our gun-controlled New York did. Okay, that is the reality of things. Okay, criminals do not obey law by definition. Okay, a criminal is someone who breaks the law. That's just no way to avoid it. That's the pure definition of a criminal. So trying to pass more laws is only going to make it harder for law-abiding citizens. So anyways, guys, just a little bit of a rambling video, but my main point is that the way that we deal with a lot of this media bias out there is to educate ourselves on those issues and then engage, not being hateful, but simply engage with people who do not understand them. Okay, you can win more arguments with some people by simply explaining things to them, let them look at those facts for themselves, than you can with just ranting and raving with someone. Okay, some people you're not going to convince no matter what. However, for every person that can be convinced about the facts of firearms is someone who's not necessarily going to be as much of a proponent of restricting the rights of others. Now, a simple question that can be asked to someone who wants to restrict the Second Amendment. Ask them how much of their First Amendment rights to free speech they're willing to let you restrict. Okay, it's a simple question, but it gets that conversation started and it gets it taken into a whole new direction. But anyways, guys, just a quick video that I wanted to do. Share your thoughts down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Also, be sure to check out the links down in the description. Guys, it's up to us. It's up to us to protect our rights. It's up to us to stay involved with our representatives as well as our local communities. You educate your neighbors. Invite a friend to the range with you. Get them involved in the shooting sports, and that's one of the best ways to help protect our rights. Guys, thanks for watching. Check out the rest of the videos on the channel, and we'll see you next time.